Now are you ready to give a riveting speech? You're gonna change lives.
I thought I was finished with that. What do I have to do now?
It's never over.
Now, everyone and their mother knows Stan Lee, right? Like, Stan Lee was one of the most influential and no glaze, but genuinely amazing idols of our generation, right? I feel like this isn't even deniable. Like, Stan Lee has made some of the most iconic Marvel characters you can think of. Like, I promise you, if you have a favorite Marvel character, it's probably made by Stan Lee. Spider-Man, but you already know that. Thor, Hulk, Iron Man, the X-Men, like the list really keeps going, which is why I feel like it was so much more disheartening when we all found out that Stan had to deal with elder abuse in his later years, like towards the end of his life, right? I mean, nobody should have to face that, let alone someone who's done as much good to the world or put out as much positive energy as Stan Lee had, you know what I mean? But when it comes to greed, none of that really matters. You know, people are gonna do whatever they're gonna do to get money, even if that may include forcing a tired old man to continue working his ass off long after he needs to, all for the sake of lining their fucking pockets, obviously. And we all, of course, know that Stan had unfortunately passed away late 2018, I want to say. But here we are 7 years later, and Stan Lee's alleged best friend is releasing a documentary that includes footage and video evidence of Stan facing various forms of elder abuse.
My name is Jon Bolerjack, and for the last 4 years of Stan Lee's life, I was his assistant, his confidant, but most importantly, his friend. I traveled the world with him, witnessing firsthand the incredible highs of his legendary career, but also the heartbreaking lows. Stan spent his final years enduring mistreatment, manipulation, and betrayal at the hands of a few very bad actors.
Is there any way to get us out of that San Francisco thing? Or do you feel we gotta do it?
Gotta do it.
At the time, I didn't have the power to stop it, but I did have a camera and I filmed everything.
So Stan's best friend, John, is claiming that he has all this evidence and he was, forced to watch on the sidelines, sit in the cuck chair or whatever, while people around Stan abused him and he couldn't help, I guess, but had a camera, so he recorded it. I don't know. That just seems weird to me personally. Like, even if that was the case, right? Like, even if you really cared, why wouldn't you release any of the video evidence of your best friend facing abuse anywhere throughout any of the years for free, literally anywhere? This would literally not only expose everything that happened to him, thus getting some sort of, closure or justice or whatever you're trying to achieve by doing this, but it would do it for free. No, instead, John is trying to profit off of Stan, the same way everyone was trying to profit off of Stan when he was alive, right? I mean, think about it. What does he gain from hiding videos of an elderly man being abused and only releasing them for money? Well, the answer is it's self-explanatory, money, duh. And what's worse is that he's trying to make it seem like he's not using Stan's legacy to line his own pockets. He's trying to paint himself as some righteous hero that everyone can root for. We should be on his side. But in actuality, he was using Stan for shit when he was alive too. If you look at the damn video, John is one of the people telling Stan that he was never over.
Now are you ready to give a riveting speech? You're gonna change lives.
I thought I was finished with that. What do I have to do now?
It's never over.
Literally, the proof is in the pudding, chat. It's right there. But what's crazy is that this wasn't even the first instance of Jon Bolerjack using Stan Lee's name for profit. Good old Reddit actually found, after doing some digging, old interviews of Jonathan. And in these interviews, it was revealed that John had worked in a comic store for a few years when he was younger before he met Stan, right? Which means, follow me now, he knew the value of Stan Lee's products before meeting Stan, right? You're in a comic store. That's literally where all of that's Stan's shit. You know who Stan Lee is. You know his value. You know his worth.
Yeah. What's funny, John, like what you were saying is I love your approach, because obviously you have a lot of connections in the field. So you get a lot of different signatures. You get the remark on there and stuff.
I'm going to be turning 40 this year, so I guess I have to sort of admit that I'm not necessarily young anymore. But I used to be like I used to be one of the youngest people in the room, sort of trying to hustle. And I did notice that as the older I got, I was still the youngest person. So You know, I was 30, I was 35, and I never really saw anyone kind of like younger than me sort of hustling.
And so Jon would kind of like Trojan horse his way into becoming friends with Stan, but it was like clearly for his own gain. Like he would use Stan's signatures to promote his artworks and sell it for a higher value. I mean, hell, even till this very day, he still sells pictures of Stan Lee, like never seen before pictures of Stan Lee for money. And mind you, these are pictures that Stan has showed him like privately. Like Stan has not posted these or sent these to the news. No, these are pictures that Stan has only shown him, and he's just putting them out there. Why? Because he's a greedy dirtbag. And you remember earlier when he said that he was filming Stan so that he can expose the abuse going on in his life and shit? Yeah, well, he lied. He only filmed Stan Lee to use him as like a claim to fame, essentially. Like his plan had always been to Trojan horse his way into Stan's life as his friend, with his main goal being to record a documentary about him. And this isn't some conspiracy theory either. He quite literally admits this himself.
So I had to, so I decided to go to film school, and I got into video editing and production and whatnot. And I had initially, once I got out of film school, started working in documentary film, and a friend of mine was working with Stan, and I thought this would be awesome. You know, I'm a big nerd. I could Trojan horse my way into meeting Stan if I could, film something with him. And so we sort of pitched him on the idea of doing a reality show about his travels.
Jon also got to meet a lot of high-end people through Stan Lee, like a lot of famous actors or singers or writers. Obviously, because, Stan was a high-end member of society himself. He was pretty well off. So for Jon to be pretending that he wasn't or isn't profiting off of Stan is weird and wrong. It's just a lie. Like, I don't know how else to put it. But I'm sure, as most of you know, I'm not the only person who's talking about this right now. So I'm kind of just hoping that he, doesn't get funded for this, and the video still get, I don't know, leaked somehow. Maybe somebody hacked it. Never mind. It sounds like you know what? I'm just gonna end the video.
Bye, have a great time.